See what savage.
Catching on my fire, charging my rider. I let you admire. She's in the emojis in the evening and in the night. I wanna know only you've been gleaming up in the night. I wanna change you. They know they hate you. As soon as you came through. If you started looking everyone's face, they'll watch you go down, down, down like a lady do. Special lady. Go down, down, down like a lady do. I'm special, you can see that I'm strong. Couldn't think the eyes of me, it was all love strike. Should they go down like economy? Mommy, daddy, it's time for the wish to me. Every time I make a no story, me and you are making a story. Oh nana, watch me one on the floor, nana. Hey, I say, oh nana, on the low, nana. Hey. I wouldn't change for you, do anything for you. Soon as I come through, they look on everyone's face, they all watch me go down, down, special lady. Like a lady do, special you did it, I'm strong. She was all abstract.
Yes, everybody is our family to yet another beautiful episode of the Pan African Bliss right here on the Black Fire Network Media for the 21st century. Shout out to Keith Newsam, Mr. Black Fire himself. He said something that I couldn't sing. Have you heard me? Have you listened to me? Karibuni sana. You should have seen Keith yesterday behind the camera flexing how he has a goddamn good voice. Literally debating and calling us morons because we can't sing. Shout out to Kate Manze. Karibuni sana to yet another beautiful episode of the Pan African Bliss right here on the Black Fire Network Media for the 21st century. My name is Jovi. To the first time listeners and viewers, I hope you guys can get me loud and clear from your end. Shout out to everyone on Facebook, on YouTube, those who are with me also on Twitter, and of course to everyone who has taken the privilege to have our radio station up. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear. Kindly also do remember you can keep your sentiments coming. If you do have the application, you can run the station, also keep your at the network application. So kindly go to Google Play Store, download it in case it's your first time. You can not only stream with us just Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You can also stream live with our station application. But karibuni sana once again. I hope you guys' day is coming out amazing. Mine is dope. I can't complain. 15 minutes past 1 p.m. right here in the 254. And of course, it is a beautiful day. Tomorrow, shout out to HR the messenger. And of course, tomorrow it is a child's birthday. And you know me, I think with birthdays, I'm just always excited. I think there's something with me and birthdays. I think it's because I grew up in a family where I've been told celebrating birthdays, it's a ritual, it's a cult. You know, I've been told it's not good. You're trying to embrace some satanism in your life. I don't know. That's what literally the bishop, my dad, for you. So we never used to celebrate our birthdays because actually, if you could hear someone has a birthday or a friend, you could run so quick because one, the cake is rare. Like it's so rare for African people to just have cakes in birthdays. Like you're gonna be celebrating every season of your birthday. It is so rare. So every time you see someone trying to turn up, brother, if you see you guys can be in a room and a space where cake is available. Oh, that's a big deal. That's a flex right here in Africa. But Karibuni sir for those who are just tuning in. And of course, shout out to HR the messenger once again. Happy birthday to you. And I hope that you just succeed. It's nothing else. It's all about success right here. Moving as you grow, we're not going down, we're going up. Of course, shout out to the superstar himself. He's also an artist. For those who do not know, you can check him out on YouTube at Chat the Messenger. We play a couple of his songs right here. For those who do not know, he's been on What's the Radar every Saturday, brought to you by him. And of course, we also have the Black Kings Frequency, which is every Tuesday with him and Kamlesh and Keith himself, and of course every Thursday, which is today. So in case you do have gifts, do your thing, send a brother something, let them get some boxes and everything. But anyway, karibuni sana. Hope you guys are doing amazing. 17 minutes past 1 p.m. That is Love Struck by Western and Tiwa Savage. And of course, I'll be back with one more amazing after this amazing song. This is by Shaybo. And of course, if you know me so far right now, I've just been in love with her buzz and everything. But of course, before we get into that, I want to highlight what we shall be talking about. Our major focus of the day shall be going into Nigeria, literally Africa. And like we say every day, it's the same old shit, the same old thing on repetition, where we need to be discussing every day how Africans, we have been so blinded, and we do not understand politics. And that's why I said even yesterday, we've normalized living in poverty, which we think it's a thing. We've normalized where we are supposed to not question how we're being governed and ruled, which is a thing. And we'll ask ourselves, till when will this system continue going on like this? We demand a change, and I believe Africans deserve better. I believe Africans deserve better. And I say that very, very strong. Karibuni sana for those who have been encouraged. Smart and how is your day coming along? We're getting into the weekend. Personally, you see me with the vibes and the hype. But this is Shebo with Streets playing right here on the Black Out Fire Network radio station. Let me know what's the time on your end. My name is Joby, and of course, this is the Pan African Bliss. And you're listening to the Black Out Fire Network radio station. Let me know the time on your end. My name is Shebo with Streets. I hope you guys get to enjoy it. She is an amazing, amazing rapper from the UK, but apparently she is a Nigerian coming from the Nigeria,
I don't need a
literally
gangster,
African.
I'm one. I spent 40 racks on a chain, 10 racks on my wigs. That's why I'm looking better than your bitch. My nigga, I'm lit. I don't need a gangster, I'm one. Reaching out to all the massive on the African continent. And you're tuning into the Pan African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Joby, from Monday to Friday. Stay tuned. I don't need a gangster, I'm one. I spent 40 racks on a chain, 10 racks on my wigs. That's why I'm looking better than your bitch. My nigga, I'm lit. I don't need a gangster, I'm one. You brought 10 racks, I got 300,000.
I've got sweet ones, I'm legit, baby.
I got drip on, but it ain't cheap, baby. South City, baby.
I'm cheeky, baby. If you want me to shut up, you make me, baby. Rocker, governor, Rockefeller. Even got the man them shook.
All I do is flip that paper, flip it like a page in a book. I ain't even taking a look. Niggas know to pay me in full. Are you trying to take charge when you ain't the blood? You know who I be. I don't need no blood. Bitch trying to take.
Yes. I ordered jollof rice on the legs. Yes, and my quote of the day today says, "This to you, HR, the messenger himself. Of course, tomorrow is your birthday, and happy pre-birthday from me. I'm celebrating this like it's mine. But like I said, it's very rare in Africa. If you see you celebrating your birthday, it is a big deal. It's a big flex. If you see you, literally your family, being able to take their money and not thinking about ugali flour and getting you a cake, you are a lucky. You are a lucky person. You are a lucky person. That is for real. Or rather, your family is literally, they have some money. You can get some cake, they have some money. But anyway, this is UHR, and of course, to everyone who shall be having birthdays, of course, today and tomorrow, it is scientifically proven that people who have more birthdays live longer. It is scientifically proven that people who have more birthdays live longer. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but of course, happy birthday to you. Live longer, more life, and of course, nothing but just success. Like I said, we are dwelling on nothing but just success. Shebo with the streets playing right here on the Black Out Fire Network radio station. Let me know what's the time on your end. My name is Joby, and of course, this is the Pan African Bliss, and you're listening to the Black Out Fire Network radio station.
You know who I be. I don't need no buzz. Bitch try to take me for a month. I'm a deck on the road like a bus. I be rolling with the buzz.
I Order jollof rice noodle legs. I, bitch. So nobody should call me the YG. Shiver with the gang gang. No photos, bitch. I don't do the Snapchats. No cap rap. Ooh. Hey, that is Shabo. Shabo the Gang Gang playing right here on the Black of Fire Network radio station. And of course, Karibuni sana once again to everyone who's just streaming or rather joining on this amazing episode. My name is Joby. To the first time listeners and viewers, shout out to everyone on Facebook, YouTube, on Twitter. Kindly consider following us, and of course, check what this platform is all about. We promise you nothing but just raw. Pardon me. I wanted to listen to myself. But yes, Karibuni, I hope you guys are doing amazing. It is exactly 23 minutes past 1 p.m. right in the 254. And my day is coming out amazing. I can't complain. And shout out to those who are also on Rumble. I can see y'all. If you can drop your comments, kindly do so. I'm on the check of what is happening. But yes, on today's discussion, before we get into everything, like I said, we shall be enlightened about what is going on, the current affairs in Nigeria. And I'm not just talking about Nigeria, the current affairs literally in the whole African continent. It's a whole reputation of speech, it's a whole reputation of discussion. Sometimes it gets annoying because you see no change is happening. It's year after year you get to discuss the same all nonsense, the same all laws that have been kept here and are not working for African people. I'm talking about the current elected president of Nigeria. He was appointed into taking over power. That was in 29th of May this year. And his name, the previous about things like we hadn't speaking about things like when we were speaking about his retirement and how he has served the country. He said since he's taking over of the country in 2015 till to date, he sees like the country it has been left in a better crisis than the way when he took it over. But if you look at the matters and the real facts of everything that is going on, it's pure nonsense. I was relating the same case with what is going on in Gambia. The president says he's not gonna step down, he's gonna actually take another third term, because he feels like he has fulfilled what you guys really required, or rather what you're asking for. But if you look at the ground of everything, for the current affairs, it is totally different. It is totally different, a different case. So we have Tinubu. It's just actually we're not even counting even a month already. It's been few weeks and days to count since he has taken over power. And now the first thing he did is subsidize the oil, which he did it for like 2 days, then had Nigerians complaining about it. And I asked myself, like, till when will you keep on subsidizing products, food, and everything? Till when? But story for another day. Come back, he did that, and now we've seen him. Yesterday, I saw there was this trending matter of the ex anti-corruption chief who actually was supposed to be investigated because of some things he did. Actually, this is about the suspension of the economic and financial crimes chairman. Sorry, the financial economic chairman. He was arrested. He's supposed to be investigated because of what is going on. There's some flashy photos that have actually been put outside there on internet of how when he stepped down he had stolen multiple of amounts. But if you look at the real sense of it, I'm like, this is not a surprise to me, especially coming from the continent, and of course discussing these same matters every day. It is what they're used to. And Tinubu has come forth and he's like, I'm gonna defend this guy. No, this case cannot be dealt with right now. And if you ask yourself deeply, or if you try to think about it, this is not the first case we see happening like this. Every time we have someone who has done some corruption bullshit here, they never end up being guilty. They are always innocent. So why do we have our president covering these people? It's because they're puppets who have been placed under the same system, the same country, to do nothing but just steal. Not only from the people, but from the country as well. So we shall be getting into that. We shall be discussing all that. As we start, I want to take you back a little bit into Tanzania and what is going on in Tanzania. Yesterday, we had as my main discussion, I was talking about the subject of Africans' mindset being manipulated. And I'm not just speaking of manipulation of like, hey, just this education and everything. We've been manipulated so bad to self-hate. I call it self-hate. We've been subjected to self-hate, whereby hate everything black, love everything white. Shout out to Keith for teaching us that, because it is the fact. Like, if you try look at us around, we'll never see Africans, and this is why I explained it very well. And we've been seeing all this. White people understand African people way better than we understand ourselves. Main reason is because we are so divided. They are united no matter where they are in this world. But for us, we think tribalism is the number one thing, because one, our leaders, so-called leaders, have made that like a norm, where it is okay to keep on dwelling on this fake religion, keep on living in poverty, just because you have to keep on waiting on Jesus. Shout out to Jesus. This Jesus is doing an amazing job in Africa. Shout out to Jesus. He's really doing great. No lie, no cap. Joe Mosquito, good rising to you too. Karibu sana. I'm doing amazing. How are you? Thank you for asking. I'm doing great. Karibu sana. So we have what is going on in Tanzania. Yesterday I was discussing about the subject of the African mentality being, let's say, just indoctrination, but it's more than indoctrination at this point. It's just way too deeper. Like I said, people are in a coma. You know, I gave a very perfect example where you can be having someone who has fainted and someone who is in a coma. The one who has fainted, you can help them a little bit, and they can at least wake them up, and you guys can work together and walk them out of the situation that has made them faint. But the person who is in a coma, man, they are heavy. You cannot carry a whole fat person who is in a coma. Can you imagine have you ever tried carrying someone who's deep in their sleep? They are heavy. Now try imagine it's like, it's like you trying to wake up people who are, so that is what I'm trying to say, trying to wake up people who are so deep gone. There are those who can save, and there are those we cannot save. Like Jason Hill, shout out to him. He says we can't save everyone. Apparently, I think we'll have to get to a point where we'll have to let go. But this is the situation in Tanzania. Let me share my screen as I read this article very quickly. This is what is going on in Tanzania. The same situation we saw of Kenya, the Kenyan cult. They're calling it a cult now. It's an African cult so far. And the white people are enjoying this. Let me tell you, African people, we are giving the white people every goddamn reason to keep on coming back, to keep on indoctrinating your generation to generation. And this is why, oh my God, what you were seeing yesterday on the Africa Today show, do you know how fucked up, messed up that is? And every day we have missing persons because of, I read something, our ignorance is their key to everything. Our ignorance is the key to everything. Where you just, oh, the media say that's okay. Oh, the president has spoken, so that's fine. And you feel like that's the final say. Where do you come in this place? Where do you question? Where is your voice as an African person? So we saw this situation yesterday in Uganda, where we had around 40 people. Was it 40 or 80? 80 people who are told by a pastor to go to Ethiopia to go starve themselves as they wait for Jesus on the last day of the 45. They were to fast for 40 days as they wait for Jesus on the 41st day. Okay? Starve themselves to death. The same similar situation, which actually even today as we speak, we have a number of bodies. Right now, our number of bodies that have been found on the mass graves, on the forest that has been reclaimed by the government. We have 303 bodies that have been found today. More still coming up. We don't know how many more. Now, we are in Tanzania. The list of where I expected this to happen, of course, religion is everywhere, but I didn't think I was not really looking forward to ever speak anything negative coming from Tanzania. But hey, it is in Africa, so they're trying to go everywhere with this agenda, of which they already did. So this is what is going on in Tanzania. Authority, they're saying that the Tanzanian authorities have arrested two church leaders for allegedly detaining dozens of sick people while promising to heal them through prayer and traditional herbs. Now, you tell me, we have the European. One, not only these traditional herbs that we're trying to practice now in the name of Jesus are the same traditional herbs we've neglected and allowed ourselves to take the medication that the Europeans introduced to us. So, how do you tell me using traditional herbs, trying to cure myself in terms of maybe common cold, maybe I just there's something wrong with my stomach and I need to take these traditional herbs? It's wrong. But no, I can use traditional herbs in the name of Jesus. You see how we see how stupid we've become. Can you translate that and understand how stupid we've become? We add herbs to be specific. Herbs, and which is now not even being practiced in most of the African societies, because the Europeans have ensured we are going to take what they introduced to us, which is made out of nothing but just death. What is supposed to help you and your body and remove all the toxicity and everything, because you have no idea what herbs do. Trust me, they can damage you. You will diarrhea. Yeah, utahara. You will diarrhea for real. That is no cap. You will diarrhea. That is no cap. But after that, your body is okay. Your stomach is all cleansed. Because the more you literally you go to the toilet, you're releasing all the bad things in your body and much more. But it's funny how now traditional herbs are helping in the name. I wonder how. Using, because we have different types of traditional herbs which are used for cure, helpful in our bodies. So many of them. There's some you're supposed to wash your body with, and trust me, after that you feel awesome. It's not the same way you bathe with the soap. There's a difference, a huge one, a very big difference. But let me read this. What is going on? They're saying that the Tanzanian authorities have arrested two church leaders for allegedly detaining dozens of sick people while promising to heal them through prayer and traditional herbs. The more than 100 people were being kept in a so-called additional ward built additional ward. Can you hear this? So-called traditional wards. No, so-called traditional wards. Can you look at this? This is a word, family. This thing in your screen. This is a heart. This is a heart. But this is crazy. And for real, if you speak of so many people having to go on agenda 2025, 2030, especially 2025, man, I'm damn sure that we have a couple more who are gonna go and take the big ugali shot. Because one, your Jesus tells you worship me, but still your Jesus cannot heal you, so you need the big ugali shot too. It's crazy. It gets more crazy. This is a word, this one. Anyway, the more than 100 people were being kept in so-called traditional wards, mud walled huts with bricks beds built around the church in Nyamiza village, Miswege district in the northern west of the region of Mwanza, with no medical treatment or food being provided. Some had been there for up to a month, and they were required to find food for themselves until they fully recovered. They were required to to find food for themselves until they were wow. They were found after locals alerted the police that some people were dying after leaving hospitals, including a woman who joined the church soon after giving birth to twins. That is automatically death. You give birth, then you go to starve yourself to death. And this one, I'm telling you, African people, you hate yourselves. Man, you hate yourselves. Oh my God. At this point, anyone who's talking religion bullshit on my face, yo, I don't care. Oh, you're not woke. Okay, fine. I believe we still had a reason to question. Maybe my afterlife, I was given some information. My life before this, I was given some information to literally question religion before. I was told to never ever question. But no, you can't be this stupid. Even if today I was not literally on the Blackout Fire Network and see all this nonsense I'm seeing today and some stories I've had back then, I'd now try connect the dot of and start asking, what is this religion? Who is this God that tells you killing each other is okay? Not even killing, no. You guys, this is a genocide. This is a genocide. We had 700 people in Uganda who were killed and burned in a church. And the documentary is there. It is there. In Uganda. And Museveni never said anything about this. Or even doesn't. Funny shit, these leaders are not even bothered. This is how you should know this is a genocide. And you're practicing it amongst yourselves. The funny, craziest thing. Right now, we are practicing genocide amongst ourselves through our people. They're using your fellow black people to kill you now. It's not even them. It's now the black people. Hey, you see how your fellow people are stupid? I'm going to pay you this amount of money. Just spread the news. Just spread the news. This is crazy. Talk about the 700 killed in Uganda, burnt in a church. Talk about right now, we still have many bodies being retrieved in Kenya. So far, we're counting 300, and we have body organs missing. Story for another day. And today in Tanzania, 100. Yesterday in Uganda, 80. What's more? We had in Zambia, a pastor who died because of was it Zimbabwe? Because of trying to participate on TikTok, the 40 days challenge of fasting. And of course, there was no one to record him. So that's why I'm calling it a TikTok challenge. Apparently, at this point, on this case, there was no funds. This is just insane. African people, we need to wake up. We need to wake up. Enough. There's no excuse that you need the internet to do research. Yo, for me, I feel like the universe is giving us links to wake up. You can't be seeing all these people dying unless it is just normal. And if it is normal, you're part of the people we call, they have the what? Those Negroes that have the was it the RH? It's the RH what, Keith? Remind me again. The RH blood. The RH blood, if I'm not wrong. But anyway, it's crazy. The Europeans are finding every goddamn reason to come back to Africa. We're giving them the hints. We have no excuse because the majority are so damn asleep, and it's through this religion. And it's the same through the same religion, which is so satanic, that they are killing. Oh my God, this is so deep. With what I saw yesterday, this is so deep. This is so deep. It's been called a cult. It's not. It's not cult. It's a cult. This is a cult. It's a cult. And say it. Maybe put your own terms. But for me, I feel this is part of their agenda, of course. Like where they have a number they need of population by 2030. But now it is so crazy that they have learned the African people. We have refused to not see through history and continue praising them and the fake history they have left behind. And now they're using African people to genocide African people. Wow. This is crazy. This is super insane. But anyway, let me finish up with this very quickly. Move on to another story, because it's enough with just this religion bullshit. They're saying that some had been there for a month, and they had required to find food for themselves until they are fully recovered. And they were found after locals alerted the police that some people were dying after leaving hospitals, including a woman who had joined the church after giving birth to twins. At the end of last week, the police took the sick people back to the hospital for treatment. They now investigating possible deaths and whether they are bodies buried nearby. So this is, you can see, there's a business going on all over Africa. Shout out to Samia Suluhu, because this is the first incident we've seen after Magufuli's death. Way before, if you could trace maybe all this nonsense, I bet it was maybe there, but you couldn't practice. But right now, what is happening? Just a question. Just a question, you know? They're saying that he confirmed let me see. Yeah, he confirmed that the arrest of the suspects, the church leaders William Masum and his wife Kabula, saying that they didn't have permits to conduct worship and prayer activities to provide traditional healing service, and they have not commented on the accusations. We are now doing the detailed investigations, I quote, including interrogating the suspects. Meanwhile, I asked locals with classified information that will help the investigations to come forward and talk to the police. That is what is going on in Tanzania today. And as all this go on, the funny shit, they distract us with all this nonsense, which we don't know if they're doing on purpose, but I feel like it's been done on purpose as they continue with their other agendas. That is the most crazy part, because the rest of us who do not understand what is going on, we're gonna be like, what is going on? So we're gonna be so much focused on what the media is feeding us, which is this, what they want us to focus much on. But in real sense, it's more than just what they're showing. It's deeper than just what we see now in each. Why do we now have each African country now unveiling what has been going on with this cult bullshit? How comes all of a sudden, just after Kenya, we have Uganda, now Tanzania? Or in Uganda, it happened before. But now, how comes all of a sudden we just have escalating matters of now pastors scamming people, farting on people's face, urinating on people's face in the name of healing? We need to connect the dots very quickly. And it is happening so quickly in the way we're being told, like, look, how comes you just seen the, connect the dots? How comes even if it were me, I'll ask myself, like, hey, how comes we have in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania? You mean you want to say that is a coincidence? We just now are African people they're just becoming so stupid. God knows if there's, could we be having any chemicals they're spraying now to now make people more stupid in religion? Because, man, white people are just super scary. And it's crazy. It's crazy. I saw my sister's status, how she's claiming how she wants to get to married to an old cracker with money. And I'm like, man, you're so gone. I can't even tell you nothing at this point. You're a grown-ass woman, so good luck with that. Me being an example to you, or me being a firstborn, or me being your elder sister, you should see think that's why we have older brothers and sisters. You should see the steps, maybe even if it's the wrong steps, don't take it. But you should check some steps and you're like, hey, but anyway, good luck to her and all that. Good luck to her. Now, African people, we just need to we need to wake up. You need to connect the dots very quickly. That's all I'm saying. Because personally, I feel we've been blaming the internet. We've been blaming this system for so long for us not having proper internet, for us not being having access to internet, for us not having. We have excuses to everything, but enough with the excuses. We're blaming the colonizers. We're blaming. No, right now, if you speak, the universe itself is showing us everything we need to know. That's what I feel personally, and I'm heavy on that. I'm really heavy on it. There's no such thing as coincidence where we're seeing just information coming to us. There's no way information is just coming to us, especially right here in the continent. There's no way. Or rather, we black people, no matter where we are, there's no way. There's a message we've been told, and we need to get to see it. And this is the African continent. I'm getting spiritual. I feel like I'm getting spiritual. I feel like Dr. Mombi. You know, I feel like this is where the African continent is being spoken to. We're being alerted. We're being told something. Taking over power and realizing who we've been dealing with and how they have manipulated power. I don't know, man. Teach me better. Maybe I don't understand. But man, I'd say African people, we just need to wake up. We need to wait. It's so far gone, and it is more crazy. But anyway, as we move on, I also want to talk about what is going on in South Africa. Yesterday on Katie's show, I think she spoke of Rwanda signing the agreement to host the medical agencies, which we know it's a very big red flag. Caution that. And then now we have in South Africa too, they have approved they have approved universal health bills. Okay, universal health bill. This is what they're saying. The South African National Assembly has passed a controversial bill to introduce universal health coverage in the country. Universal health coverage in the country. South Africa is now, oh my God, South Africa has now become, how should I say? It has become, and I know I'm not wrong because we had them producing the Johnson, I think it was the Johnson's vaccine in South Africa. If I'm not wrong, South Africa right now has become, what's the term I want to use? A center of easily getting African people. I mean, we have Nigeria being the largest populated, but no, the largest population there is African people. So we do not have, as much as it is controlled, we do not have white people the way we have them in South Africa to make work easy in Africa for them, for making sense. I feel like South Africa has become the main center of of the effects that are we the rest of the African countries are supposed to face. That is how simple I understand it. That is how simple. I mean, we have each and every African country playing role right now, because question yourself, why do we have Kigali signing into hosting the African medicines agencies? That's a red flag. Why do we have Arusha, Tanzania, being the country that is going to be used to have the African parliament? Every African country, there's an agenda going on. Zimbabwe, why did we have the Chinese building the Zimbabwean parliament? Every African country, if you try to trade, Ethiopia, why did we have the CDC, Africa CDC, being built in Ethiopia? And many more countries. I think we have Kenya as the headquarter, if I'm not wrong. We do have Kenya as the headquarter, but it is crazy. So what is going on right here? They're saying that the South Africa National Assembly has passed controversial bill to introduce universal health coverage in the country. South Africa Health Minister John Faya called the approval to the bill as a historic step Historic step indeed. Say that again. Historic step indeed. Okay, it's indeed with capital for the legislation. They're saying the South Africa Health Minister John Fafia, whatever, it sounds like a dog, hailed the approval of the bill as a historic step for the legislation that had been in the pipeline for 12 years. It's something that it's been cooking, and now it has now panned out. They're saying that the opposition fears that the allegedly of a banned public health system will collapse if the new legislation comes into force. Leading opposition party, the Democratic Alliance, denounced to move, saying that 9 million of the 60 South Africans who have medical insurance would have to be covered by an already overburdened public health system. In Africa, leading industrial power, excuse me, excuse me. In Africa, leading industrial power, public hospitals are often overcrowded and under-resourced and or understaffed. The most privileged often turn to take is the private sector. You say nonsense with me. This is nonsense. This is all nonsense. This is all nonsense. I don't understand how okay. I think maybe these South Africans, I think they're not getting enough oppression. As much as we saw the demonstrating, no, I think that the oppression is not yet enough. It's still not yet enough. And it's true. We're not tired until we're tired. African people, we're not tired until it's not enough. We're not seeing anything. And there's someone somewhere connecting the dots, but we're too scared to talk. And that's facts. Everyone is scared to talk. Of course, everyone is fearing for their lives. Everyone have families to take care of. Nobody wants to say the truth of what these people are doing to African people. By signing all these bills, laws, nonsense, nobody wants to say that there's someone who knows the truth somewhere, African, white, but most of them are scared to say. You saw the video I was sharing on Monday. This one guy was like, I walk weaponized, because I don't know where my life might be under a threat and I'll need to protect myself. Because they're watching every move you're making. They're listening to everything you're saying. And they're checking the crowd you're talking to. It's insane. This is crazy. But before I get deeper into that, Kite, see, you're saying exactly, Joby. Karibu Sana Fast, you're saying that yes, Joby, because herbs are natural and part of nature. True. And they are very, very healthy. They are they're very, you have no idea. You can heal without having to take these medications you take and all this nonsense. If only I can find a way of how we can be taking the herbs to reduce the menstrual pains. Man, women, we suffer. We suffer. And we have suffered because of now these medications we're taking. Now our menstrual pains and these pads, these sanitary towels we're using, how they have literally been made. I don't know. There's something I was told and I couldn't believe it. I was told that these pads, these sanitary towels we're wearing are the ones that actually have led to most of the extreme menstrual pain that we've been having. I've not done enough research on it, on what really it contains, what it's made of. Because if you try tear a sanitary towel when it's unused, it's just a bunch of powders coming in there. You're like, what's all this? What's all this? And it might sound crazy, but it's the same way like we're being told to do an experiment with the masks before wearing them. So yeah, I know it sounds crazy. You're gonna tear a pad, check on it before you use it. I did that, and I questioned myself before I had that. I'm like, yo, what's always with these powders? What's with those? This just some. It looks some crazy shit. Just shit that's just not making sense how it's made. It's like just some recycled dust or some recycled garbage. Doesn't look good. And trust you me, this is what has led to most of us having these severe pains we have. Extreme pain on the menstrual or on our period days, which is crazy. So I believe if only we can find ways on going back to us healing this and going back, we just need to have your menstrual periods without having to even remember if you had them. Just sitting comfortably, because there's nothing bad like you can't go to the public place without you not taking painkillers to ease yourself. And the more you take the painkillers, the more actually the pain extremes, because now you're making your body normalize. Like every time you have pain, you need the painkillers. Now you'll have to keep on dwelling on the painkillers. And for how long? Because that was me in high school. I know I've twisted the whole thing, but I'm reading what Keith is saying right here. You know, that was me in school. Like I couldn't go to school like regularly until my stepmom said I'm pretending and I need to be going to school every day because school fees is being paid. The wickedness in people. How do you just fake a whole goddamn menstrual pain? And she had the audacity to tell me, right now you'd not even be consistent in going to class because if I'd not told your teacher to threaten you that you need to be coming to school, what? And I'm like, yo, I was in extreme pain. You thought I was pretending? You just saw it anyway, yo. It's crazy. What I'm saying, I think we need to go back to we can't be using traditional herbs in the name of Jesus. What is Jesus going to do with herbs? Who is Jesus? And where is he? Who is he first and where is he? First question. We need to find ways of how to go back to just our bodies not aching, not having headaches because we're eating healthy, drinking healthy, and living healthy. Crazy. But you're also saying, Give, that yes, Joby, I agree with you. And you're also saying that yes, South Africa is the jump for all African countries. You're correct. Exactly. That is the jump. It's the jump off. It is because we have the white people already there, so it is so easy for them to spread. I mean, with the documentary I got what I noted from the AIDS spreading, how they came injecting African people. They were just using the white people, and I bet majority of them it's those who are already maybe here in the continent. So it is so easy for you to be given a job. You just need to complete it, and if you don't, you're killed. If you snitch, you're killed. Man, it's crazy. I hope I don't find my husband all white supremad. Let me say, I hope I don't find my husband jobbed. They said it is being jobbed. Shout out to Kamlesh and Demore. Yeah, it is being jobbed. I hope I don't find him being jobbed. But this is insane. This is insane. What I'm trying to get from this is that right now, as Africa, we do not actually. I don't know if because I think there's something, Keith. I remember you saying that we had we were supposed to be having the African despot sign the bill of, I don't know, us not having control to what? There's something to us not having control to something. I don't know if it included anything to do with health, but this is one of the ways that the rest of the African countries, this is actually a trap to us as the rest of the African countries. This is a big trap. This is a big red flag. And that's why I'm asking, we should be asking, this is actually happening all in a week. Kigali signs an agreement to host African medicines. What medicines? What African medicines? Which African has made these medications? Can we actually name any? Can we get any example? Because with one of the articles I was getting is most of these productions of these medications, we do not have black people. It is all white people. We do not have black people working in these productions of these medications, in these scientific labs. And even if we do, you see, most of these Negroes do not even know what is going on. They're just paid, the lab is built, and we have the white people doing their bullshit there. You saw the other video I was sharing. As much as, even if they know, these people are stupid, man. We're talking of poverty. And if you say this, most of these puppets come from poverty, it is easy to manipulate a poor mentality. A poor mentality, you can just tell it what to do. And this is why we call them, this is why they are puppets actually. This is why it is so easy for them to be told, do this and this and this without question, because there's money. They don't see anything beyond money because they have not seen this growing up in their lives. Huh. Oh my God. It gets crazy and crazy and crazy and crazy and crazy and crazy every single day. It's all happening at once. We have the 19 threats. We have now all of a sudden the African medicines. We have the Africa CDC, which is not working. We have there's something I mentioned this week. They're very interesting. A lot of nonsense just going on, but it is all crazy. But before I wind up, let me get to the main focus of the day. Which is just crazy. Africa is just, I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Huh? Cuckoo. Shout out to Nish. You say Nish say cuckoo. It's so cuckoo. Cuckoo. Whatever that means. Yeah, crazy. But anyway, as we get into the main focus of the day, we want to talk about or discuss. My discussion was focused on Nigeria, and we had our former president Buhari. I finally figured out his name. Buhari, the previous president of Nigeria, gave a speech. That was 29th of May. Before him signing out, he said that he has served his country. He has served the country as at its best. Since he took over in 2015 to now 2023, the country has been left in the best state it has ever been. And I gave a very simple example. Let's compare just what we saw in Gambia this week, where I was discussing about the Gambian president saying he's not going to step down. And we read about the constitution and all that nonsense, claiming democracy, human rights nonsense, and all that. Human rights, still we have LGBTQ and all that. So he said he's not gonna step down. He's gonna take over on the third term, and he also said those who want him to step down are gonna have to wait a little bit longer. You're gonna have to wait. And I asked again. I shared a video. So children have to study under trees. Children have to write on boards, on wooden boards as books. Books are all spread, I don't know where. Children do not even know Swahili nor English. They're talking mother tongue. Even the people doing the interviews are doing interviews with mother tongue. You're not going to step down. How do I come to Gambia communicate to you as a Gambian? I bet not ever. I bet even the English is not fluent. But that's not my focus, okay? My focus is how you're ruling the country. At which state is the country in while you are in power and out of power? As you talk, do your action match your talk? Or is it just a talk? Are you in a dream, in a coma, trying to talk while you can't talk? Because it's like you're in a coma trying to talk and you can't, because when you're in a coma, you can't talk. You can't talk. Even if you try and move your mouth, see your mouth moving, your body is not moving. So there's no actions we've seen right here. You might be moving your fingers, but your fingers cannot do anything. They're just moving. And that's African presidents for us. Because that is what they do. They talk. Because I don't understand why Nigeria has not gone to war and literally raided Buhari's home for claiming he has left the country in its best state. We have people living in sewages, people swimming in sewages, people starving to death. We are being told to pray and wait on Jesus so that we can be successful. Until when? Until when, African? Until when? Man, until when? Until when? Hi. Sometimes it gets emotional when you try this on how you'd love to see everyone live. It's not okay seeing people live in shit. Trust me. Until maybe you see it with your eyes, that shit is not pleasant at all. It's really, really heartbreaking. It's really, and it broke my heart because it's really heartbreaking when you experience it. When I had to live in Madare, the place I was showing you guys, that shit hit me hard, and I'm like, no, there's no way people are gonna be living. People live like this. You have to be sharing toilets. You have to be sharing bathrooms. You have to wash the house, I don't know, after a week. You can't wash your clothes because there's no water. You have to always live being conscious, because if anything disappears, you're living among poor people, anyone might be called a thief. I remember once I was accused of stealing $7, and this because I had someone sending me almost like $100, and I wanted to move. Then my aunt all of a sudden escalated, and she's like, "You are the thief." Bitch came home drunk. She doesn't know where your money is, but now I'm the thief. R.I.P. to her, wherever she is. She's dead. But anyway, rest in power. It is so painful to see that this is the situation we're gonna normalize as African people. Going back to my speech yesterday, normalization of everything. Nobody wants to question anything. It's okay us living in dust, not well-built roads. But isn't it funny how when you're going to be walking in a president's home, the road is well maintained, the environment is full of trees, while they are cutting down trees in your environment. But when you go to the state house pathway is full of nothing but just nature. Look at the Netherlands, Wuru's land that is stolen from people, full of nothing but nature. Why are they keeping trees if trees are not important? If trees are contributing to climate change, why are they keeping trees? Why are they cutting down trees from other places but not their homes? Are we reasoning? It's just crazy. But anyway, let me read what is going on with this Nigerian situation. Let me share my screen on this as I read on what is going on. Okay, thought it was for it. So we have Tinubu suspending the matters of the Economic Financial Crimes Commission, who is the chairman. They're saying that the Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has suspended the country's anti-corruption chief as part of the investigations into allegations, of abuse of office. And the government said he was later questioned by Domestic Security Service. And the suspension of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission chairman Abdul Rashid Bawa was the second dismissal of top officials by Tinubu since he came to office 2 weeks ago, promising economic reforms. And Mr. Bawa has been directed to immediately hand over the affairs of his office of the Director, Operations and Commissions, who will oversee the affairs of the office and the chairman of the commission pending the conclusion of the investigations. It said that the suspension followed weighty allegation of abuse of the office leveled against him. One may know this is all cap. This is all cap. This is what the media always wants us to see. This is what the media always wants us to see. But behind the scenes, it's not what is going on. Because the same people suspended, they always come back into power somehow. They still remain into power somehow. Despite what they do, these people have links into this system somehow. We might not see them now on the media, like maybe now playing part of their role and everything, but they're still part of this system who are working together in helping steal the country's economy, resources, and everything, like to just keep African people and the African continent down. So this is all nonsense of the media. Right now, trust me, with everything I'm reading from them, I'm not buying it. I twist it now. I take the words they have written and twist it now. Because what they're writing is not what is it. It is lies. It is what they want us to believe. I'm not buying other nonsense. Oh, suspension. Oh. Africa has been normalized to be a continent of corruption. Africans, we've normalized corruption. We've normalized being corrupted, so we've normalized corruption. They corrupt us, then we contribute to the corruption. Because I was saying yesterday, why can't anyone ask, why do we need to normalize bribing? Why can't we have other ways instead of bribing? Why can't we have things straight working correctly in order, everyone getting service the way they're supposed to without having levels, class, money, connections, and all that? Why can't everything work equally? Why can't we have equality in the country or in the continent? Why do we have the president who has to live the best life while the common monanchi, who is your employer, has to live at the bottom? Right now, even if we see now ghetto people with, I was seeing a trending video, there's this guy, he looks like a thug though. He was having, this thug life, having chains, silver chains and all that, silver teeth and all that. So he had an iPhone, right? An iPhone 14. So he was like advertising it, I think, on TikTok. He's like, yo, I'm selling this. Whoever is interested, kindly DM. So most of the people in the comment section, they were like, no, there's no way this iPhone, you bought it, you stole it. And I'm like, wait. He responded back, was like, yo, this is the thing. We have a mentality where we normalize even people who are in poverty can't afford an iPhone. But again, I'm like, yo, yes, you can afford an iPhone, but why are you living in poverty again? But yeah, it doesn't mean that in case if you are in poverty, there's some things you can't afford. There's some things maybe you can afford, but through thefts. But again, that is what I'm trying to say. We've not mentality. There's a mentality we have. Just what he said, whether he stole it or not, whether he bought it or not, you can see from majority of the people is, even a poor person is not supposed to be working with an iPhone, even if he was gifted. It's either stolen. That's the mentality we have. We've normalized that things should, there's no way rich people, there's no way just a poor person can become rich. There's no way how, if I have a degree, if I don't have a degree, I can get a job. Most of the people most of the people do not believe it is possible to get jobs without all this nonsense that they require us from schools. And because all we need is skills. You might be having the papers, but you do not have skills. You do not have the proper mentality to handle what you're being given. You do not have any experience. I mean, we need to change our ways. We need to change the way we think. We need to change the way we live. The way the way the generation, the system is like, we need to teach our children, grandchildren, the next generation. It's okay to question. You have the right to question. If anyone telling you cannot question, get into a fight even if you have to. I'm not promoting violence. Blackout Fire Network does not promote violence. Kindly. I'm not promoting violence. But all I'm trying to say is, if I try to look at myself with the tough life I've grown up, I'd say I grew up with a life of dictatorship ever since I met my dad. He always wanted to dictate who I should work with, how I should dress, which makeup I should apply, which hairstyle. Imagine, even used to tell me which hairstyle I could do. I'm like, yo, no, I'm not gonna comply to everything you want me to do. What if I don't look okay with your hairstyle or what you want on my head? I'm not comfortable with that, so I'm gonna do what I want. So long as it's decent, it's not anything you want to say like, yo, this is in Aniaibisha, this is making me look like a bad dad. So long as it's decent, you comply with it. What's wrong with you? Like, just don't try to dictate my life, because at the end of the day, you need to realize I'm growing up. I have my own life that I need to understand how I want to be and who I'm becoming. But one of the things is that we've been subjected to who we should become, how we should live, because it's a norm. So I should be eating shit while I know eating shit is not okay. Oh, please. We deserve better. We deserve better. I do not want my child growing up with a baby daddy telling them, especially my baby girl, you're going to borrow your dad pads, money for sanitary towels, then they're telling you like, get out of here, you disgusting my face, or you disgusting my heart, I want to vomit, just because I'm on my menses, because it's nature of being on my and you had that, you needed a woman to have me. You That's the funny, crazy thing. You needed to have a woman to have me, and you don't want to see me go through my menses. Or should you? I grew up in a house where I have going on periods. It's not okay. Nobody should know you're literally in period. Even if you are in pain, keep that pain to yourself. That was my stepmom. But anyway, we have choices to make, okay? One thing I've come to realize is we can't control everything as much as we want to. You can't save everyone as much as you want to. Shout out to Danny Talks for telling me that. It was like, Joby, sometimes you always want to like help everyone while you can't. And also Kit, you told me that you can't you can't literally help everyone even if you really want to. You can't save everyone even if you really want to. You have to save yourself sometimes first, and those who you can save fast, then okay, those who you can't, let them be, you know. But you can't try save everyone, because you're gonna literally exhaust yourself trying to do so. So African people, what I'd say is majority of us cannot save you. For us who are woke, cannot save majority of you. So we have choices in life. we I learned this through my siblings and through everything I go through, especially with my family, which I don't talk about or don't talk to and all that. But I have learned that in this life, whether you're my cousin or my sibling, you're not growing to be a child. You're growing becoming an adult. You're growing making decisions of your own at some point. I can't make decisions for you. I have my life. I have my role to play in my life, and I'm gonna do that. So with you, us decide what you want. And that's like to African people, you know, you have paths you can take. You just need to decide. If you want to keep on being oppressed, you want to keep on being told what to do. I also tell this to most of my. There's a friend of mine who's called Bakar. This guy was telling me how he's depressed by his parents because what he's doing is not what he wants in school. His parents wants to provide for him. He feels like he has become a man. He wants to literally provide for himself. He wants to have a home. He wants to just start life and experience the world, but he's not being given that because he's always in the house. And I was told him, yo, freedom is not given, it's taken. And I gave him a perfect example of my life because he has been a friend for a while of my life. I told him, you saw what I had to do. I had to walk out because I really needed that freedom. I was done being dictated on. I was done not feeling like I'm not human. I needed to breathe. And even if I have to go through ups and down, being free and trying to find me, I'm okay. So it's up to you to decide what you want. You want to keep on being oppressed, then cool. So that you sit down, your parents, talk to them, let them know what you want. If they agree, okay. If they don't, the decision from there, it's yours. You want to keep on being oppressed or walk out. So to us as African people, that's how I also feel. But anyway, much love. Let me wrap it up there. That has been my show for today, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. I see Kit is saying, exactly, Joby. They speak English in Gambia, Joby. It was a British colony, all right. But most of them seem to just speak a lot of bunch of mother tongue. With most of the videos I was trying to find, I think most of them have a lot of mother tongue. It's just like I think the rest of the African countries where we've not normalized the national languages, and we've normalized the tribalism bullshit, which is crazy. But anyway, peace, family. See you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. This has been the Pan African Bliss, and of course, I've been your host, Joby. Shout out to everyone on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and of course, those who are on the radio station. For those who are on Rumble, kindly normalize keeping your comments coming. Okay, I see 4 people watching on me on Rumble, so thank you so much for streaming, and I appreciate you guys so much. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. But of course, it doesn't end here. I'll see you guys tonight on the Africa Today show. But Katie is next with the African Diary. Then we shall be having the Black Kings frequency with Kamlesh, HR, the messenger himself, and Keith himself. So peace. See you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. I had kids say I could not sing. I had kids say something. Kid, did you say something yesterday? Did you say I could not sing? Did you say something? I hope you didn't. But anyway, much love. See you guys tomorrow.
Yes, massive Wagwan. And we're obviously Jamaican brother there, reaching out to all the masses of the African continent. And you tune into She dey go down like enemy. She dey go down like enemy.
Sasa jaingia. Ndio samba ni kama furniture. Aziz. At least sikujangi na zipata. The only test